I opened my eyes and they had just to read Johnny plus Loretta. Poorly graffitied inside a heart shape. Inside this crummy hallway. Inside this janky excuse of an apartment complex. I must have gotten sloppy again last night. My eyes focusing onto the brown fuzzy thing on the ground next to my right hand. I think it's my wallet. It's open. And it's my mugshot staring right back at me. Above it, it says in Old English font, "License to Kill." Below it, my last name in bold Helvetica print, Barley. What an unhealthy reminder of who I am. My motor skills are somewhat still intact as I use my left hand to wipe some weird slime residue off my face. There's a lot of gravity weighing on top of my neck as I try to raise my head a little higher to see my apartment number. 1246. That's not me, I'm 1249. My knees shake as I stand up. My lovely landlord lady, Miss Treemount, must have waken me up from this hangover from hell. She was marching towards me with her tentacle arms, waving back and forth. Both of her heads are yelling hysterically, one just moaning over her fat neck and the other in fast gibberish. Finally to my legs, one hand on the other side of the hallway to hold me up. Yeesh, whoever lives in 1246 just got jacked. Their door was smashed off its hinges. My drunk vision couldn't see far into this person's flat, but I could make out the carpet on the floor. It was hideous orange fur with yellow flower patterns. Only a schmuck would have such tacky taste. Wait a minute. I flip up the 6 and it's a 9. This dump is mine. 1249. Then without hesitation, I blew chunks in the hallway. Miss Treemount puts one of her tentacles on my shoulders, and she's yelling something I can only make in muffles, due to my busted hearing aid. I try to switch it to translation mode, I give her the shoulder shrug, and I tell her I can't hear her. But a horrible drunk slur emerges. I then stumble into this depressing excuse of a home. I couldn't tell if someone broke in and crashed my pad or if this is how I lived nowadays. Newspapers in the middle of the floor, soaking up a leak from the ceiling. All my kitchen cabinets and closets open with broken glass and dishes everywhere. At least they didn't eat the cold pizza on top of the counter. Don Tommaso's pizza. Never tastes bad no matter how old it is. Women will leave you in the dust, but pizza is always there. I grab a slice from the box, a couple flies swarm away. As I take a bite of this slice, I toss my hearing aid over my shoulder to the magnetic charger. A couple of steps, my feet barely leave the ground, and I fall onto the black, hot leather sofa couch, which was a perfect landing for my drunk, pathetic, lazy ass. My crunched up hat sits nicely over my eyes to shield me from the sun peeking in through the window. Inhaling the rest of this pizza sobered me up and got my brain cells working. I haven't even bothered looking around the rest of my apartment. My eyes were glued to the ceiling fan. A good 15 minutes had passed, and finally I adjust to my surroundings. My eyes slowly drifted to the corner of this little studio apartment which I had photographs and posters. And the harsh reality crept up a little too hard. Now I remember why I get so drunk, why I get blackout wasted, why I try to black it all out. Without hesitation, I easily raise up out of my laziness like a puppet on strings. I force pulling my trembling hand out and my eyes water up as it all comes back to me. The reality of it is, it's her, my woman, my purpled hair, blue-eyed, four-armed, three-breasted, talented singer. Psycholysis. Psycholysis? No one could ever sing like you, babe. I touch her lips on the poster and I see all the other photographs of thugs, and the puzzle I had forgotten comes back. Psycholysis is dead, and I failed to find the bastard who did it. How long have I been on this case? Years, and I haven't even come close. Just circles and loopholes to nothing. The worst part of this sad situation is, this is my job. I'm a detective. My pinky ring goes off, signaling my earpiece is charged. I stick my pinky in the air, and the hearing aid has a magnetic pull to my ring. I put it in my ear and I turn it on. And Miss Treemount is yelling right at my door. I have to turn my earpiece down a notch or two to drown her out. How long have you been standing there? She keeps yelling. I burp right before I put the door in front of her, and then place it right onto my hinges. She's probably mad about the music I'm always playing. She always yapping about something, whatever. I go straight to the record player, look through, and find Psycholysis' third album. Tears stroll down my face, and I put it on to drown out Miss Treemount even more. It's her voice. I slowly go back to the desk with the case of the death of my true love. Whoever broke into my place sure did tear it apart, but didn't take a damn thing. Not like anything's worth a damn, except maybe my gun. I reach under my desk to grab it from its strap. It's not there. God damn it. I am the worst detective in this stinking city. What's the point? She's dead and I can't get over it. I can't move forward. The record starts skipping. Depression creeps in heavy. I've been running around in circles for far too long. It's time to end this game, but with no gun, I guess I'll have to be creative. Looking around the apartment, there's not a lot I can do. I could probably slip my wrist with one of those filthy dishes, but if it doesn't kill me, I might just get infected and live a longer, more painful life. Looking over to the left of this tiny apartment, I see my hammock hanging up in the corner. Another memory lane. The hammock I used to have from the military. Ah, perfect. How poetic. I'll just use that to snap my neck. That ought to do the trick. Now, if only I could find a high enough place to make a dramatic exit. I open the window to the 90th floor of this apartment complex building. The stench and pollution of the city smacks me in the face and I open my eyes. There's an old toxic gas flag waving, a skull and crossbones smiling right back at me. That's fitting. I tie one end of the hammock to the end of the flagpole and the other end of the hammock to my neck. Looking back at Psycholysis, I smile and I say, "I'll be with you soon, babe." Then I kick the couch far enough to hit the record player so it stops skipping. The music goes right back on track. I kick one of my legs out the window and I peek my head out. Just as I do that, there's an old, loud, familiar bang. That's my gun. No other sound makes that but my gun. Quickly, I stick my head back in the window into my apartment studio. I adjust my hearing aid to translation mode and I look over my shoulder, leaning my one ear in one direction to hear what the hell Miss Treemount is yelling. I hear a woman scream from above. I stick my head back out the window, and I see a woman being held over the edge by some thug with a mohawk. I can make out a black lightning bolt band tattoo on his forearm. Reaching for her purse, he grabs it. She falls. I have a matter of seconds to make a decision with a rope around my neck. Well, a hammock. Yes, a hammock would make for a great safety net. God damn it, Barley. I step out onto the ledge of my window. I eyeball the distance of my neighbor's window. A tiny start, I fumble one foot over the right, and I trip into a leap. For the top open window with a fan in it, everything goes in slow motion. Looking down, I see flying cars the size of ants, and they still got 100 feet before they hit the ground. This is suicide. Well, no shit, my thoughts argued in milliseconds. My leap cut me short, and my headache was about to get a lot worse. Head first, I crashed through the bottom window, and all I could think is I hope I caught her. The rope pulls tight against my neck, springing me to my feet. I'm holding it with both of my hands, trying to not let it choke the life out of me. My old lady neighbor, whose house I just broke into, starts hitting me with a broom, and she is screaming at the top of her lungs right into my hearing aid. I chose one hell of a day to have a hangover. Playing tug-of-war with the hammock, I maneuvered to twist my body around so I could look out the shattered window to see if I caught her. The lady who was falling to her death had fainted in this hammock strapped to my neck, which yanked me closer to the broken glass window. Inch by inch, my belly was getting close to this one giant glass shard. The old lady was hitting me with a broom, must have been 108 years old, judging by the strength of the broom hits. It wasn't as painful as her screams, but it was aggravating, especially since I had a rope pulling the oxygen out of me, and a glass shard about to disembowel me. My hangover had gotten the best of me, and my strength. I couldn't pull back anymore. I looked at the lady with my eyeballs popping out and sweat dripping off my face. She stopped yelling and ran to the door, where Miss Treemount was. They both looked at me in horrified shock, gathered the situation, and then they both started yelling together. I was shaking pretty badly. This couldn't end well. One of my hands gave out and I reached out in their direction for help. This off-balanced the rope and the hammock started rocking right to left. Also, it started snagging on some of the broken glass shards, cutting the rope. She still passed out. I started swinging the rope back and forth towards my window. This motion, however, was cutting each strand of the rope. Come on, Barley, you got this. Don't give up now. One last big swing. To the right over the whole city, so far high anymore the hammock would have tipped her over. And on the way down, on my last breath, I gave out and threw myself away from my own death, which I was originally trying to do. The rope snapped, and my body was like a rag doll, went across the floor. I coughed up some blood, gasping for air. I almost passed out. The old lady came in yelling.
What are you, crazy? Get out of my way.
And again with the gentle bristle broom strokes on my ribs. I catch my breath and stand up. Okay, lady, you win. I limp my way into the hallway. I bump into lovely Miss Treemount. What?
Mr. Barley, your job is to protect us.
Says who? Her one head spits on my Hawaiian shirt and her other head yelled.
What are you good for?
I turned my hearing aid off and she slapped me so hard I did a 360, knocked my door over again. Just to see the lady who was to fall to her death. You made it. She still passed out, laying on my couch. I fell to my knees. Her skin was pale white and the edges were light blue with a hint of green. She had pointed elf ears, long eyelashes, short green bangs. She was still breathing pretty hard. Her breasts were almost exposed from her black and white striped belly-cut t-shirt. Her black skirt was flipped up enough to tell she was wearing neon pink panties. One of her feet were naked and the other one had a high heel on it. Well, aren't you lucky, I thought to myself. She sort of fell in. Swinging my head to the left, I could see a sad reflection of myself in a long mirror. A rope tied around my neck, puke-stained spit-on Hawaiian shirt, bruised bloodshot eyes, 5 o'clock shadow, and a busted-up fedora sitting nice and neat on top of my head. You look like shit. And then, due to exhaustion, I passed out face first on the floor.